it's a person who grew up in who grew up in a country with a different culture than their family. That's what I would define it as, maybe. And then the resulting culture is a sort of mixture between what you experience at home, like in your house, and what you experience in the country you live in.
TCK stands for Third Culture Kid. For me, it's someone who has more than one culture due to his upbringing during childhood. So let's say if you have a nationality of Austria, but you were born somewhere else and you grew up in different countries, then it makes you a third culture kid because you get a culture from your parents and a culture from those countries that you have lived in. I think it could also be if you have parents from different cultures. Let's say your dad is from America and your mom is from India, and you get those two different cultures, and so it makes a third culture in you. That's how I would define it.
I was born in Muscat, in Oman. My nationality is Austrian, and I've also lived in the Netherlands, the United States, and Netherlands again, and now Austria.
I'm originally from Indonesia, and I grew up in different countries. So should I start from the beginning? I was born in Tanzania, East Africa, but I never lived there for more than 2 or 3 years, so I don't remember anything of Tanzania. So besides Indonesia and Tanzania, I grew up in Switzerland, Finland, Suriname, and now I live in Austria.
I would say home is actually not a place. It's not a house, or it's not a country or anything. Home is just where people, like my family are, and that is home. So home is more family than a place.
Home for me could be anywhere because I grew up in different places. So I think it's more on the places that I've lived before. So it could be a family. So it doesn't matter where I am. As long as I'm with my family, then that's my home.
Like, I'm one of the people who can move across the world and not feel homesick.
Yes, but I think it would be different from most people because I can get homesick to Indonesia. I could sometimes feel like I want to go to Suriname. Sometimes I want to go to Finland because I miss my home there, I miss my room there, or I miss my friends there. So homesick, for me, it's not in one place, but the different places that I've lived before.
The ability to be international. So, like, if I can gladly take a job where I have to be abroad for a number of years, and then somewhere else for a number of years, and I actually want to do that. So that is something which I see as an advantage for me. Other cultures don't shock you as much if you already know that there are, of course, different cultures.
Culture shock, yes, I have experienced culture shock. I think the first biggest culture shock that I experienced was when I moved from Finland back to Indonesia. So when I was in Finland, I tried to adapt to the culture there. I tried to learn their behavior, their language, how they make connections with others. So I think having lived there for around 4 years, I finally adapted myself to be a Finnish, even though I'm physically an Indonesian. And then we have to go back to Indonesia. So that's when I experienced actually reverse culture shock. It's having culture shock from your own home country. So I had to readapt, I had to learn again Indonesian and learn how people socialize and just try to adapt to the new environment.
I don't feel 100% Austrian, but I think I've actually managed to, in my 4 years, adapt again to being more Austrian than I was at the beginning. So I think I'm more Austrian now than I was 4 years ago, but I'm not 100% Austrian.
Oh, that's actually a hard question. I want to feel 100% Indonesian, but sometimes, however hard I try, it's hard to have this sense of fitting in, because sometimes I feel like the sense of humor is different, and they make a joke that I didn't laugh, and I feel like a foreigner there, even though, you know, physically we're the same, but sometimes my point of view in life is a bit different from them. So there are some cultures from Indonesia that I like, and I try to adapt. Some that I don't like, and I try to, you know, maybe 70% Indonesian and the others are a mixture of all the cultures that I've lived in.
I've noticed that friendship with non-TCKs takes longer and often isn't quite as deep, maybe, as connected. Whereas with certain TCKs, it's just like an immediate connection.
I think as a TCK, because you move a lot, and you know that when you come to a new environment, you know that you're going to move again, or that person is going to move again. So for me, I like to build friendship in a quick way, you know, instantly, while ideally making friends is gradually, and it takes time. So for me, I like to make friends fast before I have to say goodbye again. That's how I make friends. And I think it could also be if you have different parents. No, if you have physical. Okay.
Okay.